Okay, so in the last class, fine, we are discussing about here dehydration of alcohols. Okay, we are discussing about here dehydration of alcohols. Okay, we saw dehydration of alcohols takes place under different conditions. Okay, and the order of reactivity was what? Yeah, tertiary alcohols are more reactive than secondary, which is more reactive than primary. ये सब discuss किया था, and I think we discussed the mechanism as well. Okay, we discussed the mechanism as well. Right? So then I told you, okay, dehydration is just an example of an elimination reaction, fine? And whenever we discuss elimination reaction, again, we have to follow that very fundamental rule, which is known as a Sedgwick's rule. Okay, we have to follow that rule, which is known as a Sedgwick's rule. Okay, so remember the conditions for dehydration. Eh? So what was the condition for dehydration of tertiary alcohol? Yes, what was the condition? Remember, tertiary alcohol, we use 20% sulfuric acid. Temperature was how much? 363 Kelvin, if I am not wrong. Okay, so you have to remember all those conditions. So today I shall select few questions again from your dehydration. Okay, then I'll just move towards the other chemical properties of alcohols. Okay. So one question is there particularly which I need to discuss. Okay, so the question goes like this. Okay, you just write down the question along with me. So how would you synthesize the following alcohols? How would you, okay, synthesize the following alcohols? How would you synthesize the following alcohols? How would you synthesize the following alcohols? Okay, from appropriate alkenes. Okay, so yes, someone please tell me, how will you prepare an alcohol from alkene? How are you going to prepare an alcohol from alkene? There were two ways, right? There were two ways. And now number one is here acid catalyzed hydration, which involves Markovnikov's addition of water molecule. Okay, which involves Markovnikov's addition of water molecule. And the other was what? The other one was the hydroboration oxidation reactions, which involves anti-Markovnikov's addition of water. We know how to prepare an alcohol from alkene. So this question, okay. So here what is given? Here the final product is given. The final product is given out here. The final product is given like this. So the question says, how are you going to prepare this particular alcohol from the appropriate alkene? The question says we need to walk backwards out here. Right? The question says, how are you going to prepare this particular alcohol from the appropriate alkene? So you have to suggest an alkene, okay, with the help of which you can prepare this alcohol. So how are you going to do now? Let us follow this technique, okay? Now, which one is the alpha carbon out here? Which one is the alpha carbon? Which will I consider to be the alpha carbon? Which one is an alpha carbon? Just tell me. कौन सा है alpha carbon? The carbon containing the functional group. Right? So this is the alpha carbon. So this is the beta carbon. This is the beta carbon. This is the beta carbon. So these two beta carbon are identical, CH2, CH2. Okay, and here we have CH3. Now what will we do now? Okay, now you suggest the alkene which would be formed by dehydration of this alcohol. Okay, let us suggest an alkene which would be formed by dehydration of this particular alcohol. Right? So I'm not going to write down the conditions. Okay, conditions, we know this is a tertiary alcohol. We need sulfuric acid. Temperature is 363 Kelvin. Temperature is a 363 Kelvin out here. Okay, so there are two possible alkenes out here. There are two possible alkenes. If this hydrogen and OH gets eliminated, the double bond is going to be out here. We get this CH3. This is one possible. The other possibility, it might be the other minor product, okay, OH from here, H from here. So the other possibility is this. Okay, so this alcohol on dehydration gives us two possible alkenes. Now, if I add water to this, if I simply add water to this, if I add water to this in presence of an acid, if I add water to this in presence of an acid, which rule will be followed? So these are the possible alkenes from which these can be formed. These are the two possible alkenes. Okay? Till now I don't know कौन सा alkene से form हुआ है. Fine. So which rule will be followed out here? Addition of water in presence of an acid. Which rule will be followed during this addition? Markovnikov's or anti-Markovnikov's? Markovnikov's rule will be followed. Okay, so according to Markovnikov's rule, the positive part of water, that means H positive, will be added to the carbon containing greater number of hydrogen. This contains one hydrogen, this does not contain any hydrogen. This contains two hydrogen, this does not contain any hydrogen. Okay, so let me add water in accordance to Markovnikov's rule. So if I add water to this particular alkene, okay, if I add water to this particular alkene, then where will the H positive add? H positive will add to this carbon. Where will the OH negative add? To this carbon. So I'll be getting CH3OH like this. I'll be getting CH3OH. Okay. Now, if I add water, then what will I get then? If I add water in accordance to Markovnikov's rule, what will I get? Just tell me, suggest me. What will I get? Is it understood? I am adding water now. Positive part will add to the carbon containing greater number of hydrogen. Negative part will add to the carbon containing lesser number of hydrogen. Out here, positive part will add to the carbon containing greater number of hydrogen. Negative part will add to the carbon containing lesser number of hydrogen. So I'll get the same product. I'll get the same product. So this particular alcohol can be formed either from this alkene or from this alkene. Both would be correct. Here also, if I add water in presence of an acid following Markovnikov's rule, I'll be getting the same product. Here also, if I add water in accordance to Markovnikov's rule, I'll be getting the same product out here. So how will you prepare this alcohol from appropriate alkene? Which is the appropriate alkene then? The appropriate alkene, our answer would be either this or this. It would be either this or this. So both alkene on acid catalyzed hydration will give us the required alcohol. So what is the technique? First we'll predict the alkene. पहले हम लोग predict करेंगे alkene. वो जो starting alcohol था उसको dehydration करके हम लोग ने दो possible alkene. Okay, we predicted the two possible alkene. Then we added water across the two alkene. In both the cases we get the same product. So which is the right answer? Either this or this. Fine. Now you move to the second one. So you do this on your own now. You do this on your own. The second one is here. OH, this CH3. Okay. Now what are you doing now? We have to predict an alkene from which this particular alcohol will be formed. Right? Okay, so what does this mean? This means we have a CH3. So how are you going to do this? Yes, tell me. Again, we will be using the same technique. कैसे करेंगे हम लोग? Yes, tell me. How are we going to do this? पहले क्या करेंगे हम लोग? Yes, Anishka, tell me. What are we going to do first? First, okay. First, हम लोग क्या करेंगे? There are two possible ways in which this alcohol might be prepared from the starting alkene. Now again here, there is the alpha carbon. This is the beta carbon. This is the beta carbon. This is the beta carbon. Okay. Now these two beta carbon are identical, CH2, CH2. What are the two possible alkenes that would be formed out? What are the two possible alkenes if I eliminate water? What are the two possible alkenes? The two possible alkenes would be this Okay, OH from here, H from here, or OH from here, H from here. I'll get this. What is the other possible alkene then? What is the other possible alkene? OH from here, H from here. So the other possible alkene is double bond CH2. So I'll get this alkene or this alkene. Now I know if I remove water from this alcohol, these alkenes will be formed. Or if I think in the reverse way, if I add water to this alkene, this would be formed, right? I'll think in this way. If I remove water from this alcohol, these are the two possibilities. That means this alcohol can be prepared from these two alkenes. So now let us see. If I add water in presence of an acid, again Markovnikov's rule, what does it state? Here this carbon contains one hydrogen, this carbon does not contain any hydrogen. The positive part will be added out, a negative part will be added out. So yes, what do I get? I get the CS3. Okay, so positive part means H will be added out, OH will be added out. I get this. I get the desired alcohol. Again, if I add water to here, if I add water to this, again Markovnikov's rule will be followed. Positive part यहाँ पर add होगा, negative part यहाँ पर add होगा. So what do I get again? I'll get this again. So this particular alcohol, so I'm walking backwards first. So I predicted the alkene which would be formed from this particular alcohol. So what are the two possibilities? This or this. Okay, so this alcohol on dehydration give you these two alkene. If I remove water from this alcohol, I'll get this two alkene. Or I can say now, if I add water to this alkene, I'll be getting the alcohol. So what are the two possibilities? What are the possible alkenes from which you can get this alcohol? Either this or this. So both would be correct. If you write down both would be correct. Okay. So acid catalyzed hydration of either this alkene or this alkene will give us the desired alcohol in this way. Okay. Now last one you do it on your own. Last one you do it on your own. So if it is not understood, please let me know. You might have some problems out here. Now what you do is you predict the alkene from which this alcohol can be prepared. Chalo. Now CH3, suppose I have CH, OH, CH3, this is a 2-degree alcohol, fine. Now if I treat this with sulfuric acid, kitna percent tha? 60% sulfuric acid. What was the temperature? What was the temperature? 2-degree alcohol ka temperature dekho. What was the temperature? I think it was 373 Kelvin, right? So what will happen? Yahan se OH, yahan se H, I'll be getting an alkene. I'll be getting an alkene. Now apart from this reagent, okay, the dehydration can be carried out when we heat this alcohol with heated alumina. If I heat this with aluminium oxide, this is the other reagent. So same reaction will occur. What will happen? From one alpha carbon, OH will be eliminated. From the beta carbon, H will be eliminated. And a double bond will come across this two alpha and beta carbon lines. So what are the two reagents? Either sulfuric acid heat or alumina heated. Okay, in both the cases, we'll be getting the dehydration product. So remember this reagent. Okay, remember this reagent. So alcohol to alkene, there are two reagents: sulfuric acid heat or heated alumina heat. It's known as alumina. It's an ore. Al2O3. It's an ore. Okay, alumina. It's an ore of aluminium. It's known as alumina, and the formula is Al2O3. So there are two reagents. Okay, there are two reagents. It's very important. Now, esterification reaction means reactions of carboxylic acid RCOH. We will write in this way: carboxylic acid RCOH plus and alcohol, like reaction of carboxylic acid with an alcohol like this. Okay, in presence of this reaction is reversible. In presence of conc H2SO4. If you don't remember the temperature, just write down heat out here. This will solve our purpose. So whenever we have an acid and an alcohol in presence of an acid, in presence of an acid, mineral acid, H2SO4, or instead of this H2SO4, just H positive might be given. So why have I written in this way? So remember, okay, so what will happen now? There is going to be an elimination of water molecule. There is going to be an elimination of water molecule like this. Water molecule will get eliminated. So after water molecule gets eliminated, what is the product? Yes. What is the product out here? R C double bond O R dash plus H2O. So what is the functional group out here? These class of compounds are known as a esters, and the reaction is known as a esterification reaction, and the reaction is known as a esterification reaction. So what do you mean by esterification reaction? Yes, what do you mean by esterification reaction? The reaction between carboxylic acids and an alcohol, okay, in presence of mineral acids, right? In presence of mineral acids to give an ester, and is known as a esterification reaction. Okay. So yes, now I'm going to give you some reactants. So what happens when carboxylic acid is heated with this particular alcohol, ethyl alcohol, and remember again, this reaction is reversible, right? This reaction is reversible. So what do you get? Yes, what do you get? So what will you do? Water molecule will get eliminated, H2 eliminate kar do. Actually, if you follow the mechanism, which is not there, of course. So acid ka OH and alcohol ka H will be eliminated as water. Okay, so this H and this OH will be eliminated as water. So what do we get out here? What is the formula? CH3 C double bond O C2H5, CH3 COO C2H5 plus water. So this is the ester. Acha. Fine. So we get ester. We know. How are esters named according to your IUPAC? How do you name esters according to your IUPAC nomenclature? Yes, how are esters named? Esters are named as alkyl alkanoate. Esters are named as a alkyl alkanoate. Okay. The alkyl group attached to oxygen is named first. The alkyl group attached to oxygen is named first. So what would be the name, IUPAC name of this ester? Yes, alkyl. What is the alkyl part attached to oxygen? What is this? What is the name? What is the name of this alkyl part? Ethyl alkanoate. Okay, the alkanoate part contains 2 carbon atoms, so it's named as ethyl ethanoate. It is named as ethyl ethanoate. So esters are named as alkyl alkanoate, and the name of the alkyl group attached to oxygen is named first. So the alkyl group attached to oxygen is ethyl. So ethyl, the alkanoate part contains 2 carbon atoms, so ethanoate, since it contains 2 carbon atoms. So the name of this ester is ethyl ethanoate. This is the IUPAC name. Now what is the common name? How do we name it? Common name. So I've taught you, again I'm just going to recapitulate this thing. Remember, so what is the common name of this acid? Chalo, batao, what is the common name of this acid? What is the common name of this acid? Yes? What is the common name of this acid? Common name, not the IUPAC. What is the common name?
Acetic acid.
Acetic acid. Chalo, batao na, acetic acid. So if I remove this hydrogen, what is this ion known as? What is this ion known as? Acetic acid. Acetate. Very good. It's named as acetate. ATE. If I remove the hydrogen, the name will be acetate. What is the name of this acid? C6H5COOH. What is the name of this acid? Benzoic acid. So if I remove this hydrogen, what is the name of this anion then? Benzoic acid के anion को क्या बोलेंगे हम लोग? Acetic acid का anion को acetate, benzoic acid का anion को क्या बोलेंगे? Benzoate. So don't forget this. Don't forget this. So do we have an acetate part out here? Do you have an acetate part out here? Can you see an acetate part? CH3CO. Yes. To this acetate part, which alkyl group is attached? कौन सा alkyl group attached to this acetate part? Ethyl. So the common name is also, it is also known as a ethyl acetate. It is also known as a ethyl acetate. It is also known as a ethyl acetate. So IUPAC name, it's very easy. Alkyl alkanoid. Common name, yes, you just see the anion part from the acid. This is the acetate. Ethyl group is attached, so ethyl acetate. Okay, it's ethyl acetate. Okay, now let us solve again a few problems related to your esterification reactions. Okay. Okay, so what happens when benzoic acid is treated with methyl alcohol? Do it on your own and give me the IUPAC name as well. What happens when benzoic acid? What happens when benzoic acid? C6H5COOH. What happens when benzoic acid is treated with methyl alcohol? So how will I write? I'll write in such a way that the functional group faces each other, right? So that it will be easy for me to carry out the reaction. Okay, what happens when benzoic acid is treated with methyl alcohol? So what happens? What happens is, what, how are you going to carry out the reaction? Very simple, there's nothing we should memorize. So just remember, water is going to get eliminated. How is water going to get eliminated? OH from here, H from here. Okay, H2O is going to get eliminated. Elimination of water occurs. We know the general reaction, elimination of water occurs. So what do we get out here? We have C6H5. We have C6H5. Then we have COOCH3. What is the common name of this ester? And obviously, don't forget to write down water out. What is the common name of this ester? Yes, what is the common name of this ester? Chalo batao. What is this part known as? C6H5COO. Benzoate. 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 Very good, excellent. So the name of this ester is methyl benzoate. Now see, very important reaction. Eh? So whenever you see an alcohol and an acid okay, reacts with an alcohol in presence of a mineral acid when heated to give us an ester, and the reaction is known as a esterification reaction. Okay, and the reaction is known as a esterification reaction. So yes, this reaction again, it's going to come along with other reactions here. Okay, so esterification reaction. So today itself we are going to do some of the problems related to this ester. Now we know how to name ester. Common name कैसे करेंगे, IUPAC name कैसे करेंगे. Okay, now so one particular point needs to be mentioned out here. One particular point needs to be mentioned out here. Okay, so what is that point? Remember, as the size of alkyl group increases, as the size of alkyl group increases. किसका alkyl group का size? Okay, either of acid or alcohol. Okay, as the size of the alkyl group increases, the rate of esterification, reaction decreases. So some simple questions might come from here, right? So as the size of the alkyl group increases, the rate of esterification will decrease. So let us now compare. Okay, so the rate of esterification of, I'll give you some acids. Okay, now you arrange this in order of increasing order of esterification reaction. So first I'll give you formic acid, then I'll give you acetic acid, fine. Then I'll give you propanoic acid, fine. Then I'll just give you one branching 2-methyl propanoic acid. Okay, so if I label this as 1, 2, 3, 4. If I label this as 1, 2, 3, 4, what would be the reactivity towards esterification reaction? What would be the reactivity towards esterification reaction? What had we discussed? We discussed just now that.
4:3:1.
Okay, so we see as the size of the alkyl group increases, the rate of esterification decreases. So the most reactive acid is going to be 1, since the alkyl group is very small hydrogen. Okay, it will be most reactive, followed by this acetic acid. It has a small methyl group. Okay, as the size of the R group increases, remember the reactivity will gradually decrease. So this is the order of reactivity towards esterification reactions of some of the carboxylic acids. Okay. Now similarly, if I ask you to write down the order of reactivity towards esterification of some alcohols. Now we'll compare the reactivity towards esterification reaction of some alcohols. Okay, of some alcohols. Say, so I'll give you some alcohols now. Fine. Say, I'll give you methyl alcohol. Okay, I give you ethyl alcohol. I'll give you, say, propanetol. Okay, and I'm going to give you. So all these are classes of alcohols. All these are classes of some alcohol. Okay. So remember, as the size of the R group increases, as the size of the alkyl group increases, the order of reactivity will decrease. So yes, tell me what will be the order of reactivity? Here we have a small methyl group. Here the alkyl group is a ethyl group. Here I have 2 big methyl groups and 1 small hydrogen. Here I have 3 big methyl groups. So what is the order of reactivity of this alcohol? Tell me, what will be the order of reactivity of this alcohol? And remember, ethyl alcohol is an example of a primary alcohol. It's an example of a primary alcohol. This is an example of a 2-degree alcohol. And this is an example of a tertiary alcohol. It's an example of a tertiary alcohol. So yes, what is the order of reactivity? Tell me. Which is the most reactive? Which alcohol is the most reactive? I think methyl alcohol is the most reactive. Yes, followed by 2, followed by 3, followed by 4. Or I can say the order of reactivity of this alcohol is 1-degree alcohol will be most reactive, followed by 2-degree alcohol, followed by 3-degree alcohol. So this is the order of reactivity of alcohols towards your esterification reaction. Say, this is the order of reactivity of alcohols towards your esterification reaction. So what is the concept? As the size of the alkyl group increases. Kiska alkyl group? Either that of acid or alcohol. As the size of the alkyl group increases, or in case of alcohol, as the number of alkyl group increases, the reactivity towards esterification reaction will decrease. The reactivity Right. So reactivity of alcohols with halogen acids. Reactivity with halogen acids. Okay, reactivity towards the halogen acids. So I hope you guys remember this. So if we have a 1 degree alcohol, suppose we have a 1 degree alcohol like this, RCH2H. Okay, suppose we have a 1 degree alcohol. So 1 degree alcohol reacts with HCl in presence of anhydrous ZnCl2 to give us what? To give us RCH2Cl. So this is the product. 2 degree alcohols RCHOH. Okay, again reacts with this HCl anhydrous ZnCl2. Heat is also required. Heat is also required. Again, here also the OH will be replaced by chlorine like this. We get this. Okay, we have done this already. And tertiary alcohols as well. Tertiary alcohols as well. This tertiary alcohols, they do not require this anhydrous ZnCl2. So just HCl warm. Just HCl warming. Okay, so we just need to warm it with your HCl. Okay, so here also what do we get? Yes, again the same thing will happen out here. Same thing will happen out here. What will happen? The OH gets substituted by Cl. So what is the difference between these three reactions? Yes, anyone? Please tell me what is the difference between these three reactions? This is 1 degree alcohol. Okay, this is supposed to be a 2 degree alcohol. This is supposed to be a 3 degree alcohol. What is the difference between these three reactions? Yes. Anyone? You should be knowing this. We have discussed this already. So yes, they differ in the order of reactivity. Out here, the PPT appears instantaneously or immediately. We have written this. In case of 2 degree alcohols, the PPT appears within 5 to 10 minutes. And in case of 1 degree alcohol, your PPT appears after 15 minutes. PPT appears after 15 minutes. PPT appears after 15 minutes. Okay. So this is the order of reactivity of alcohol, say towards Lucas reagent. So what is the name of this reaction now? You guys remember what is the order of reactivity of alcohols then towards Lucas reagent? 3 degree alcohols are most reactive. It reacts instantaneously, followed by 2 degree, followed by 1 degree alcohol. So remember in the first chapter we have done this. This particular reaction is known as a Lucas test. It is known as a Lucas test. And where is it used? It is used in the distinction between the three classes of alcohols. It can be used to distinguish. So it is used as a distinction test. Okay, distinction between here 1 degree, 2 degree, and 3 degree alcohol. So remember, right? So how are you going to distinguish between the three classes of alcohols? With the help of this test, which is known as a Lucas test. So 1 degree alcohol, it reacts with Lucas reagent, but it reacts very slowly. 15 minutes से ज़्यादा time लगेगा. 2 degree alcohol, it reacts within 5 to 10 minutes. It is more reactive. Whereas 3 degree alcohol, it takes no time. It reacts instantaneously. It reacts immediately. So this particular acidity of alcohols. Acidity of alcohols. Okay. Acidic nature of alcohols. Alcohols are acidic in nature, right? So here we'll build up some concept out here. So remember, alcohols are acidic in nature. So if I take an alcohol like this, ROH, how does it ionize? It behaves as a very weak acid. It is a weak acid. We know organic acids are weak acid. It is a very weak acid. In fact, it is weaker than water. Eh? Okay. So yes, tell me, if it behaves as an acid, how does your alcohol ionize? Rick, yes, please tell me, how does your alcohol ionizes to give us OH negative ion? And that would mean that alcohol is behaving as a base. So obviously alcohols do not ionize in this way. Alcohols do not ionize in this way. So acid means they are proton donors. So yes, alcohols ionizes to give us this anion RO negative plus it will give us a proton like this. It will give us a proton. And this anionic part which is left is known as a alco oxide. It's known as a alco oxide. It's known as a alco oxide. It's known as an alco oxide. So an acid, after giving off a proton, after ionizing and after giving off a proton, the anionic part which is left over is known as an alco oxide ion. Okay, so now you should develop this concept. It's very important. For example, how will methyl alcohol ionize? How does methyl alcohol ionize? It ionizes to give us what? CH3O negative and H positive. So what is the name of this alco oxide ion? What is the name of this alco oxide ion? Tell me.
Methoxide.
Very good. Methyl alcohol ka alco oxide is known as a methoxide. It's known as a methoxide ion. And you have studied in class 11, an acid after giving off a proton, the negative part which is left is known as a conjugate base. It's known as a conjugate base. So this is the conjugate base. So weak acid gives us a strong conjugate base. So this acts as a very strong base. It's a weak acid का conjugate base हमेशा strong होता है. Ionic equilibrium. Okay, fine. So CH3, CH2OH. This will ionize to give us what? This will ionize to give us CH3, CH2, O negative plus H positive. So what is the name of this? What is the name of this?
Oxide.
Etho oxide. Just build up the concept. Etho oxide. Ethyl alcohol ka anion ko etho oxide. Very good. What is the common name of this alcohol? Common name. I'm talking about common name. It will ionize to give us CH3, C, CH3. What is the common name? What is the common prefix we can use out there? What do we have?
Third butoxide.
Tertiary butyl alcohol. Very good. It's as a tertiary butyl alcohol. We have a tertiary butyl group. Tertiary butyl alcohol. So what is the name of this? What is the name of this? मिथाइल अल्कोहल का मिथोऑक्साइड, इथाइल अल्कोहल का इथोऑक्साइड, टर्शियरी ब्यूटाइल अल्कोहल का क्या होगा? टर्शियरी ब्यूटोऑक्साइड. इसमें एज अ टर्शियरी ब्यूटोऑक्साइड. टर्शियरी ब्यूटाइल अल्कोहल का टर्शियरी ब्यूटोऑक्साइड. Got it? Tertiary butyl alcohol, tertiary. So now we know alcohols are acidic in nature. They act as a very weak acid. So since they are weak acids, their conjugate bases act as a very strong basis. So these bases are very, very, very strong. Concept of ionic equilibrium. A strong acid will give us a weak conjugate base, whereas a weak acid will give you a strong conjugate base. Since alcohols are weak acid, their conjugate bases are strong. Okay. So this is how we name the conjugate bases. The conjugate bases are named as alkoxide, methoxide, ethoxide, okay, propooxide, isopropooxide, tertiary butoxide, and so on. Okay. So since they are acids, since they act as acids, okay, what happens when acids are treated with metals? What happens when acids are treated with metals? What happens? So from the little chemistry we know, what happens? What is the concept? Any acid, say HCl reacts with any sodium to give us what? Sodium plus HCl will give us what?
Salt and
Salt,
hydrogen.
hydrogen. Exactly. Okay, so acid reacts with metals to form salt like this. CH3, CH2O. This acidic hydrogen, yes, it will be liberated as hydrogen like this, H2. O negative, Na positive. It's a salt, ionic compound. What is the name of this salt? What is the name of this salt? Which alkoxide ion do we have? Ether oxide. Okay, so it's known as a
Sodium
sodium
hydroxide.
ether. Very good. Sodium ether oxide. Sodium ether oxide. Sodium ether oxide. Good. Very good. Excellent. Okay, now you try to do this on your own. Give me the common name of this alcohol. Not the IUPAC. IUPAC to propane 2 all. What is the common name? Which common prefix can we use out here? CH3, CH,
Isopropyl alcohol.
Okay, isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol. Good. If I treat this with aluminium, yes, what is the formula of the salt? Yes, hydrogen will be replaced by aluminium. So what is the formula? CH3, CH, CH3, O, Al plus H2. So is this formula correct? Aluminium, what is the name of this? Aluminium isopropoxide is isopropyl alcohol. So this will be named as aluminium isopropoxide. Aluminium isopropyl. Is the formula correct or is it it's not correct? Simple. Acid means yes, the acidic hydrogen is going to be replaced like this. But what is the valency of aluminium? What is the valency of aluminium? What is the formula of aluminium chloride? 3. The valency of aluminium is 3. So whole 3 out here. Whole 3 out here. Aluminium isopropoxide. Okay, why 3? Valency of aluminium is 3. So this can also be written as CH3 whole 2 CHOA. This can also be written as CH3 whole 2 CHO whole 3A. Okay, this can be written as CH3 whole 2 CH3 whole 2. Then I have CHO. इसको पूरा ब्रैकेट में फिट से whole 3Al. Don't get confused. इसका मतलब ये. Fine. Now you do this on your own now. You do this on your own. What happens when tertiary butyl alcohol reacts with aluminium? Tertiary butyl alcohol. We have tertiary butyl alcohol reacting with aluminium. Yes, still give me the formula. Tertiary butyl alcohol. Yes, what is the formula of the compound? CH3, C, CH3, CH3 out here. The hydrogen is going to get replaced by aluminium. Again, just now I told you the valency of aluminium is 3, so I need to put whole 3 out here plus hydrogen gas. So what is the name of this compound? We have a tertiary butyl alcohol. Here we have a tertiary butyl oxide ion. Okay, so this is the polar, right? This is negative, this is positive. So aluminium tertiary butyl oxide, aluminium tertiary butyl oxide, aluminium tertiary butyl oxide. Now I think it's understood. It's understood, I think. Okay. Fine. So if you are asked to compare the order of acidity, okay, so I'll give you a very simple concept here. Okay, so I need to go into details. Okay, now see. So listen very carefully. Listen very carefully. Fine. So alcohols are acidic in nature, and carboxylic acids are also alcohol in nature. Acidic in nature. A carboxylic acid, which is the acidic hydrogen? कौन सा हाइड्रोजन एसिडिक है? obviously the hydrogen attached to oxygen. This hydrogen is acidic hydrogen. This hydrogen is acidic hydrogen. Okay, say suppose we have methyl alcohol. So do you think these three hydrogen are acidic? No, these three hydrogen are not acidic. Why this hydrogen is acidic? Because this bond is polar in nature because of electronegativity difference. Okay, this bond is polar in nature because of electronegativity difference. So because of electronegativity difference, it's polar in nature. Okay, and this which makes the release of proton very easy. Okay, now if the now see, so here what is the concept? An electron withdrawing group, remember electron withdrawing group always increases the acidity, and electron donating group will always decrease the acidity. Okay, so I'll explain this later on, okay, by applying resonance. So this is a fact. The fact is that electron withdrawing group will increase the acidity, whereas electron donating group will decrease the acidity. So here I have methyl alcohol. Fine. Here I have isopropyl alcohol or propanediol. Here I have tertiary butyl alcohol, like tertiary butyl alcohol. And these are 1 degree, 2 degree, and 3 degree alcohols. So what have I said just now? So this is a fact. This is a fact. So what is the fact? Electron withdrawing group increases, electron donating group decreases the acidity. What is the nature of these alkyl groups? What are these alkyl groups? Is it electron donating or it is electron withdrawing?
Electron donating.
All alkyl groups are electron donating. So in the case of tertiary alcohols, we have three electron donating groups, which will decrease the acidity. Here we have 2 electron donating groups. Here I have only 1 electron donating group. So what will be the order of acidity among alcohols? What will be the order of acidity of alcohols? Yes, tell me, what will be the order of acidity? सबसे ज्यादा electron donating group कहाँ पर है? Tertiary में. So that will be the least acidic. So order of acidity of alcohol is 1 degree alcohol will be most acidic, followed by 2 degree alcohol, followed by 3 degree alcohol. So this is the order of acidity of alcohols. This is the order of acidity of alcohols. Is it understood, guys? So ये fact याद कर लेना. I'll explain it later. Phenol में जब मैं discuss करूँगा, I'll explain this. So remember, there is a fact that in case of phenol, in case of carboxylic acid, in case of any acidic compound, remember, electron withdrawing group increases the acidity, electron donating group decreases the acidity. So if you have some electron withdrawing group out there, such as chlorine, fluorine, it will increase the acidity. If you have electron donating groups, that will decrease the acidity. Okay, so this is the order of acidity. And what is acidity measured by? What is acidity? What is the parameter used to measure acidity? What is the parameter used to measure acidity? Okay, so वो चीज भी यहीं पर खत्म कर दूंगा. से देखो, we have ROH, ionizes, equilibrium. We have R, O negative plus H positive. So the equilibrium constant K is equal to concentration of product by concentration of reactant. So since this is an acid, I can add an Ka out here. It's known as an acid dissociation constant. It's known as a acid dissociation constant. It's known as an acid dissociation constant. Okay. Now, as the value of H positive ion increases, okay, as the concentration of H positive ion increases, the value of K will also increase. And as the concentration of H, the acids which gives us more amount of H positive are known as the strong acids. So how is acidity related to alkane? Stronger acid means it will have higher concentration of H positive. Remember, how are you going to link? Strong acid means, okay, it is going to liberate more H positive. That means strong acids mein kya hoga? The concentration of H positive ion is going to be more. Strong acids means greater concentration of H positive ion. And if the concentration of H positive ion is high, the value of Ka will also be high. So remember here, acidity is directly proportional to your Ka value. So so whatever questions are going to come in your boards, arrange the following in increasing order of Ka values. Arrange the following in increasing order of Ka values. What is Ka? Ka ka concept here. So higher the concentration of H positive, greater will be the value of K. So acidity is directly proportional to K. Now, what is pKa? It is minus log of Ka value. Concept of pH. Concept of pH. This has already been done in class 11. So as the value of Ka increases, the value of pKa will decrease. So remember, your acidity is inversely proportional to your pKa value. So remember these two facts, right? Okay, so yes, this type of questions are going to come. Arrange the following in increasing order of Ka. Okay, Ka is directly proportional to acidity. Arrange the following in decreasing order of pKa. How is pKa related? pKa is inversely proportional to the acidity. So yes, we have learned a lot about your acidic nature of alcohols. Okay, remember alcohols are acidic in nature. After ionizing, they will give you an anion, which is known as an alcohol oxide ion. Okay, and the acidity can be compared through your Ka value, which is directly proportional, or through your pKa value, which is inversely proportional. And what we learned about acidity is electron donating groups decreases, whereas electron withdrawing group increases. Phenols. Okay, we'll just start with the preparation of phenols. Preparation of phenols. Preparation of phenols. Okay. So where will you start the preparation of phenol from? Okay. So number one, again, which is very important, is from benzene diazonium chloride. From benzene diazonium chloride. From benzene diazonium chloride. Okay, we'll start the preparation from benzene diazonium chloride. Okay. Chalo. That's beyond my control. Okay, sure. So benzene diazonium chloride. Okay, so what was the method of preparation? We have discussed already. Okay, so starting from benzene, again I'll start from benzene. What was the process? Who remembers this? How will you prepare benzene diazonium chloride starting from benzene? Kya tha process? Who remembers it? We have done in your first chapter, chlorobenzene ka preparation mein. First, we introduce a nitro group. How do we introduce a nitro group? Pong H2SO4 and Pong HNO3. What do we get first?
Nitrobenzene.
We get nitrobenzene. Excellent. We get nitrobenzene. So what will we do to this nitrobenzene then? So nitrobenzene, we reduce it. We reduce it. Teen and HCl. This is the reducing agent. Okay. What do we get? We get aniline. Aniline means a primary amine. We get NH. It's known as the aniline. So I told you then this reaction is going to be very important. Okay. Then we treat this with NaNO2, HCl, and remember, okay, don't forget to mention the temperature 0 to 5 degree
5.
Celsius, 0 to 5 degrees Celsius. We should mention the temperature, right? Okay. So we get benzene diazonium chloride. We get benzene diazonium chloride. And we have done in the first chapter, we can prepare chlorobenzene, bromobenzene, iodobenzene, fluorobenzene from this benzene diazonium chloride. And yes, we can prepare phenol as well. Okay. So when this benzene diazonium chloride is warmed with water just warm. देखो condition कितना easy है. Water warm, we get phenol. What do you get? We get phenol like this. And in the process, nitrogen is eliminated. So देखो कितना सारा questions बन सकता है यहाँ से. So many questions. Okay, we have started from benzene. First step was nitrobenzene. First step was nitrobenzene. The second step was aniline, and the other was benzene diazonium chloride. This was your benzene diazonium chloride. So this is the route. So how do you prepare phenol from benzene diazonium chloride? When benzene diazonium chloride is warmed with water, we get phenol. So yes, many questions can be constructed from this particular. What are the conversion? Benzene to phenol. Yes, benzene to phenol. This will be the route. Or how will you convert nitrobenzene to phenol? This will be the route. Nitrobenzene to phenol. This will be the steps involved. Nitrobenzene to phenol. Yes, we can do it easily. Or aniline to phenol. These are the steps involved. Aniline to phenol. Or benzene diazonium to phenol. So देखो 3 क्वेश्चन 4 क्वेश्चन तो बन ही गए यहाँ से. Benzene to phenol, nitrobenzene to phenol, ठीक है ना? Aniline to phenol as well, or benzene diazonium chloride to phenol. Right? So starting from benzene we can do in this way. Okay. So yes, starting from benzene, yet there is another method. Okay. So you are given say benzene and NaOH. From benzene and NaOH, how are you going to prepare your phenol? So direct questions are going to come again. Now you're just giving the first step. You should be knowing this. What happens when benzene is treated with very concentrated H2SO4? What do you get? What is the product? What happens when benzene is treated with conc H2SO4? Yes, we have done it. कौन सा functional group introduce होगा? Which one? Yes. चलो बताओ. SO3H. Very good. SO3H. It's very strong organic acid. It's a very strong organic acid. Okay. It's a very strong organic acid. And what is the name of this acid? It's known as a benzene sulfonic acid. It's known as a benzene sulfonic acid. It's known as a benzene sulfonic acid. It's a very strong organic acid. So SO3H group, how can you introduce into the benzene ring? By treating with conc, or we can also write down fuming. Fuming sulfuric acid. Fuming means very concentrated. Okay. Now this is an acid. What happens when this acid is fused with NaOH? So I'm just going to write down NaOH. Fused means it's melted with NaOH. Let's just predict, just use your concept. So there is an acid. There is an acid. We have an acidic hydrogen out here. Acid reacting with a base. What do you get? Salt and water. Which salt? What is the name of that salt? What is the name of that salt? What is the formula of that salt? So actually we get SO3Na. Okay, so there is a rearrangement reaction which is obviously beyond our scope. So just remember, when this benzene sulfonic acid is fused with NaOH, we get ONA. We get sodium phenoxide. What do you get? We get sodium phenoxide. So 2-3 steps has been skipped out here. We don't need to do all those. Okay, ये जो क्लास 12 लेवल में वो सब करना नहीं पड़ेगा. जस्ट रिमेंबर बेंजीन सल्फोनिक एसिड को तुमने NaOH के साथ हीट किया, we get sodium phenoxide, salt of phenol, sodium phenoxide. Now till now you should have the concept, how are you going to replace this metal or Na positive with H? I need to prepare phenol, OH. How are you going to replace this by H? What did I say? Whenever you want to replace any metal by H, you have to treat this with dilute acid.
Acid.
So treat with this dilute acid. So what happens? You'll get phenol. You'll get phenol. So yes, benzene sulfonic acid to phenol, this is the route. Or benzene to phenol, yes, this can be another route. Benzene to phenol. So these, yes, these needs to be remembered. देखो यहाँ तक तो we have studied, right? ये don't worry, even if you don't wish to study this, you'll remember this. अगर तुम चाहकर भी ये नहीं पढ़ो तो ये याद हो जाएगा. Don't worry about this benzene diazenyl chloride, क्योंकि ये चैप्टर ही है इसका. So benzene diazenyl chloride से लगभग सब कुछ हम लोग प्रिपेयर कर पाएंगे. We can prepare almost every compound. Okay, ये याद कर लेना. This needs to be remembered. This needs to be remembered. Now, apart from all the preparation, apart from all the methods of preparation, one method of preparation is known as a cumene process. Okay, fine. So, what is a cumene process? Let us see. Okay, so when benzene is treated with isopropyl chloride, let me see how much idea you have developed now. This isopropyl chloride or 2-chloropropane in presence of anhydrous AlCl3. What do you get? Which reaction is this? And what do you get? Which reaction का नाम बता दो मुझे. Which reaction is this?
Aromatic
So this is
addition.
no. This is the very
Electrophilic
famous.
substitution.
नाम बोलो reaction का. चलो good. Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction. Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction. ठीक है. कौन सा group introduce होगा benzene में? Alkyl group. Now mechanism we have done it. मैंने तो mechanism भी करवाया तुम लोगों को. So ये chlorine खींच लेगा, positive charge यहाँ पर आएगा. It will attack the benzene ring through this carbon atom. Okay. So what do we get? We get this compound. We get this compound. So an alkyl group will be introduced like this. An alkyl group will be introduced. This. So we have an iso group out here. Do we have an iso group? Yes, we have an isopropyl group. Eh? We have an isopropyl group. So this compound is also known as here isopropyl benzene. Isopropyl benzene. And the common name of this compound is cumene. So remember Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction, which carbon atom is going to form a bond with benzene? The carbon containing the halogen. This carbon will form a bond with benzene. This particular carbon containing the halogen will form bond with benzene. So we get this isopropyl. क्यों लिख रहा हूँ iso? Because we have an iso group. Propyl 3 carbon atom है. So isopropyl benzene. Okay. So now the starting compound is actually this. Starting compound is this. So we have isopropyl benzene. So what happens now? So yes, I have given you an additional step out here. How is isopropyl benzene prepared? In this way. Fine. Now, when this isopropyl benzene is treated with oxygen of the air, when it is oxidized, when it is oxidized, when isopropyl benzene is oxidized, okay, oxidation means it can be aerial oxidation. Aerial oxidation means oxidation with oxygen of the air. So what type of compound is formed out here? Now see. So we have C out here, we have one alkyl group, we have another CH3 group. Now this oxygen, it will form a peroxide linkage with this hydrogen. ये जो CH bond है, यहाँ पर दो oxygen आ जाएगा. And this is known as a peroxide linkage. This is known as a peroxide oxygen. It's known as a peroxide oxygen. So this compound is known as a cumene hydrogen peroxide. It's known as a cumene hydrogen peroxide. It's known as a cumene hydrogen peroxide. Why peroxide? Because we have a peroxide linkage. We have a peroxide linkage. It's very easy. ये याद कर लेना, ऑक्सीजन के साथ ट्रीट करोगे तो ये कार्बन और ये हाइड्रोजन के बीच में दो ऑक्सीजन आ जाएगा. It's known as a hydrogen peroxide, a cumene hydrogen peroxide. Okay. Now, on treating this with dilute acid, so if I treat this with dilute H2SO4, what is going to happen now? किसका process पढ़ रहे हैं हम लोग? Preparation phenol. So mechanism is not required. ये जो OH group है यहाँ पर जुड़ जाएगा. This OH will come out here. What will remain? CH3, CO, CH3. So what is the byproduct of this reaction? What is the byproduct? CH3, C double bond O, CH3. So what is the byproduct of this reaction? The byproduct of this reaction is acetone. Okay, so direct questions might come. Give a method of preparation of phenol in which acetone is obtained as a byproduct. So we are talking about this reaction. So cumene, remember the structure of cumene, isopropyl benzene. Aerial oxidation, ये कार्बन और हाइड्रोजन के बीच में दो ऑक्सीजन आ जाएगा. Dilute sulfuric acid rearrangement होगा, ये OH यहाँ पर जुड़ जाएगा, CH3, CO, CH3 is left. That means the other product is your ketone. So just phenol का उतना ही है method of preparation. Fourth method of preparation have already been done. Just go through your exercise book. Properties of aryl halides में हम लोग ने किया है Dow's process. If you remember it, chlorobenzene से. Okay, we have done this already, Dow's process. I'm not going to do it again. Go through it. So there are altogether 4 methods of preparation of phenol. 4 methods of preparation of phenol, out of which these two are